Your name, sir?
Elizabeth Washington.
So today is the date scheduled for a probation violation hearing. And the charge is that you failed to submit the twice weekly chemical testing on April 4th, 26. Count two, you failed to refrain from consuming drugs, testing positive for cocaine on April 6th of 26. Those are the two charges. If you plead guilty or if you're found guilty, in that event, your probation could be revoked and you could be incarcerated for 45 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign, read, and understand the advice of rights? If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all those rights and we're not going to have a trial of any kind. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to an attorney. I'd be happy to provide you with one right now at public expense.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You sure you don't want one?
No, I did this. So
Fine. To the charge, you failed to submit the twice weekly chemical testing on April 4, 26. How do you plead?
guilty.
Did you fail to submit the twice weekly chemical testing on April 4 of 26?
Yes.
Count two, you failed to refrain from consuming drugs or alcohol, testing positive for cocaine on April 6 of 26. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Did you test positive for cocaine on April 6th?
Yes.
And had you used cocaine, say, within the preceding 3 days? 3 or 5 days?
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
Oh, got angry.
What's that?
I got angry. I got my truck out right. So somebody hit it in the street. I'm
All right. I'll accept your pleas. This one pains me. You ran a marathon, you got to 500 yards away and you stumbled. And then you got 40 yards from the finish line and you quit. I don't understand.
I didn't put everything out there. I shouldn't have held on it back. I have a lot of. My doctor thinks I need to be put on psych meds, but it's from when I go to my meetings. I don't tell everybody if you ask me what's wrong and say I'm fine because I don't want. And I'm not fine. I'm gonna listen to the doctor and get the meds and keep continuing what I'm doing. I got angry. I've had it my whole life, but I never thought when you go to an ending, you need to talk. Just didn't want more drama. Now, watching her for the last 2 weeks being. I take care of Ginger, you know,
I know.
and now I'm leaving her a spot because of me. It is. I'll make it fun here. I come a long way, Judge, but I'm not where I want to be at. I don't know. This can't happen. I just think I get too overwhelmed and I don't know how to deal with it.
I don't know what I can add. This is one of those cases where I wish we had more than 2 years, Judge.
So,
But his expiration date, I believe, was April 10th. So we are obviously past that as far as decisions to be made. He complied all the way to the end with the exception of these 2 violations. I received updated proof of treatment. As you're aware, he was here yesterday for status review. We're just in a position where we're out of time at this point. And obviously cannot graduate him based on sobriety.
What did you find out about what I asked you?
So I did look into several places. Bill is not good with voicemails and emails. I couldn't get from him the information I needed as far as when it would come to insurance. And I think it changed thinking this was a 90-day misdemeanor. It's a 45-day
Right.
misdemeanor based on our conversation. I spoke with a former graduate of the program. I still think this is a great place if inpatient is an option. Is Sobriety House off of West Grand Boulevard, but they don't offer jail transportation. I think getting to know Bill for 2 years, this is the appropriate place for him, as opposed to the places that do jail transportation.
Sobriety House where?
West Grand Boulevard, New Jersey.
But we have to make sure he's got the insurance coverage.
They should be okay. I can have a conversation with Bill after this. I can call over based on what their funding is. They may have him go through DWIN. They may have him go through his insurance. Again, I was at a bit of a loss with that information.
Say something.
Sure.
My insurance, I'm almost done with it. They're gonna charge me $2,000 a month or $1,800. After this, I got 1 more month left, but I have to take my first. And then I'm done with my insurance through the union for retirement.
So he might be able to call DWIN and then DWIN would dictate where he
I
goes.
think we can take care of that right now and find out.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I'm not guessing. Why
Yeah.
don't you two go take care of that? When you're ready, come on back in and I'll take care of this, okay? I'm accepting your guilty, please. Yeah, we'll go from there. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Mike or Jeffrey Teets. 26F2640001B.
Good morning, Your Honor. The attitude of the 82378 on behalf of Mr. Michael Teets.
Michael Feeds.
All right, so I want to make sure, is there a Jeremy Roos here by chance? Jeremy M. Roos, is he either here in person or on Zoom? Heather?
I do not have him on Zoom.
Internet rights notice was mailed to him on March the 20th, advising him of the sentence date. I've not heard anything. He's not here. I don't have a victim's rights statement. I did read the report. Have you had a chance to review the screening and assessment with your client, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
We did review the report. There are no additions. Those are correct.
Is there anything you would like to say in his behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, he's apologetic for the situation. He has job prospects, Flat Rock Metals. He's waiting to determine if they're going to hire or when he can start. He also has another job prospect, which is AFM Heating and Cooling. They offered a job. He's waiting to determine what Flat Rock Metals is going to do. So, Your Honor, I would just ask if the court would adopt probation's recommendation.
Anything you'd like to say, sir?
I'm very apologetic what happened. Will not be faltering any further. A huge lapse of judgment and wholeheartedly sorry.
Your Honor, he also is attending AA. He emailed his sheet to probation. He goes twice a week. The last time he went was yesterday.
And then I had one thumb up this Friday.
Kind of alarmed by some of this. I mean, the way I read this whole report, you're in there, you're threatening this guy, the manager. Why is he coming after you? Why is he following you? You got a machete there. You look at him in a threatening manner.
I was scared.
Scared? What?
He was in plain clothes and didn't have a name tag on. He followed me around for 15 minutes. And then when he got within a foot and a half of us, I turned around and That's when I shouted at him.
You've ever had not being flippant here, have you ever had a psychological evaluation at all?
No, sir.
Why were you so angry? If you weren't doing anything wrong, why were you so angry? So what if they're following you around?
It was a lapse of judgment. I'm not a confrontational, doesn't act like that.
12 months probation. You cannot leave the state without consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance of any unit of government. Change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no marijuana, no marijuana. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
How much did you consume?
I had 4 drinks.
No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. I want you to submit to chemical testing, PBTs and ETGs bi-weekly for 3 months. If you're clean, I'll make it then monthly. Okay?
Yes.
Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. I'm going to order that you continue to attend AA at least twice a week. Until you're in outpatient treatment, you sign up before and you get into outpatient treatment, you don't have to attend AA or NA any longer. You're not to enter or go near 26100 Vreeland in the city of Flat Rock or any other Myers store. No contact with Jeremy Roos, no firearms, no dangerous weapons. You're not to possess those. Do you fully and completely understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you're going to do outpatient, you're doing AA until you're outpatient, you're staying out of that Myers and every other Myers, AA twice a week, like I said, until an outpatient. No firearms, no dangerous weapons, you're not to possess those, you're not to have any contact with Jeremy Roos. I'm going to order, I'm just troubled by this, though. You didn't brandish the weapon. But nonetheless, you had it on you and you're creating a scene. 4 days court work program, $35 a day charge. Total $140. Fines $100, costs $150, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So your fines and costs your amount to $375, screening fee $60 for $435. You have $240 worth of court probation fees for a total of $675. And then $140 of court work program fees. Your total's $815. You pay that, you stay out of trouble, and you're eligible for early discharge after 6 months. No contact with Jeremy Roos. We understand one another, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you do everything in 6 months, you can make application for early termination. You're entitled to that by statute if you haven't had any other violations. All right. I'm kind of worried about what's going on with you, though. You got you had a impaired 2 years ago, drunk and disorderly. It's just, this is not good. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
You had another drunk and disorderly here, right?
Yes, sir. Well,
Within about 10 days, right?
yeah,
Where was the other one? From Judge Hudson or me?
that's it.
Okay. Can he pay all of this?
No, you're right, you payment plan.
How much can you afford to pay weekly, bi-weekly? You tell me.
Bi-weekly, I'd say around $100.
I'll make it 50.
I think.
And you can start beginning on May the 15th. We'll make it May the 18th. If you ever reach a point where you don't have the money, it's not a problem. You just call the court or come in here on or before the due date. I'll give you an extension. You'll meet with probation. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 90 days. You have 21 days to appeal. and you have 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you'll meet with probation. I wish you well. Thank you, Ms. Patillo.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Valacourt, Taylor what?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Redinger.
You're gonna plead to impeding traffic, right? They got you going 92, you're gonna slow down, right? I mean, that's kind of quick. To that charge, impeding, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
I'll accept the plea, dismiss the speed on their motion. 150 fines and costs. You're all set. Go down, I'll take care of that. Best of luck. Slow down. Thank you. Haley Aston, 26R514568. Good morning, ma'am. You can step up here. Tell me your name, please.
Aston?
You're going to plead to impeding traffic, correct? You met with the department rep, and that's what you guys agreed upon, true?
Yes.
To that charge, responsible or not responsible? I'll accept the plea, dismiss the speed, 150, and you're all set. Good luck. James Robert Adams, 25B8PV708. Good morning, Mr. Adams. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Your name?
James Robert.
All right, I'm just going to ask you to raise your right hand, please. Does somebody swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings be the whole true self you got?
Yes, sir.
Since you were in court on April 4th, 25, have you been arrested for any reason?
No.
Any new charges?
No.
Any contact with the police?
No.
Congratulations. Prosecutor says he moves to dismiss. As you complied, case dismissed. Good luck. Have a good day.
You too.
Shunky. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sharon Michelle Shunky, 26F2457128. Morning, Mr. Haynes.
Morning, Josh. And please, the court, I'm Joe Hanson.
How you doing?
Good.
She's coming up with a smile. Your name?
Sharon Zunke.
All right, so your client pled guilty to operating while impaired. The OWI was dismissed. She was referred for a screening and assessment. Have you had a chance to review the report with her, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
Just one minor correction. She said it was from some Romulus. It says Taylor in the report.
Okay.
Everything else is the same. Judge, the recommendation is appropriate. I know our legislature looked into these sorts of offenses as to whether they should be probationable or not. In this case, Ms. Zunke's 46 years old. She's got no record, and they let out, it's a 0.12. This is a two-guard variety case, and the report doesn't uncover any kind of long-term issues with alcohol or drugs. I'd ask the court to consider just fines and costs, but in the alternative, I think the recommendation.
You never been in trouble before. And I mean, there is a presumption I'm not supposed to put her on probation unless I think there's reasonable grounds, good grounds to do so. You want to say anything, ma'am? And I think she's pulled over because of expired tabs, not because she was crossing the fog lines or anything else.
Yes, my point, I see these kind of cases, if not one like this, then what did they mean?
I disagree with you. You want to say anything?
No. Outside.
I disagree. I mean, I don't necessarily think they should be telling us, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. 300 fines, 300 costs. 75 victim choice fee, $50 justice assessment, $60 screening fee. That is $785 plus you have rest of cost of recovery of $150 for a total of $935. I'm gonna order 2 days jail credit, one serve one, and I'll let you do that by way of community service. So you do 1 day of community service, ma'am. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but you're right. So you do 1 day of community service, and I'll give you until June 1st to complete that. So you pay your $935, do 1 day or 8 hours community service, and you're done. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal if you cannot afford one. Do you understand that?
Yes, Judge, I think your questions, the first paper facts.
That's fine. I just want to make sure. Do you understand the sentence?
Service?
1 day of community service, fines and costs of $9.35. That includes everything. You understand all that?
Yes.
And you understand if you don't do your day of community service or pay your fines, that you should receive 93 days less the credit for 1 day served. I can't hear you.
Yes.
How much does she have anything today?
I don't think so, Judge. We were thinking on to the month starting there.
Can I ask you a question, ma'am? Why aren't you acquiring some work?
I am looking for work here. Awesome.
I'll let her pay $100 per month. We'll start that beginning on May the 5th. How's that? If you don't have the money on any given date, all you have to do is come in and talk to me on or before the due date or call the court. We'll go on Zoom if you know how to operate Zoom. I'll be more than happy to give you an extension, okay? I wish you well. Good luck. Thank you. Alicia Leanne Young, 25D7186119SD.
Morning, Your Honor. DeAndre TOP 82378 on behalf of Mr. Wesley Youngs.
Ma'am, your name? All right, so your client has no priors. I mean, she had a case that was dismissed under HIDA, and she does have a warrant. Why hasn't she surrendered herself on a warrant, ma'am?
I came last week too.
No, to Grand Rapids. You got a warrant out of Grand Rapids. You need to surrender yourself on that.
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay. So she pled guilty to operating while impaired. The thing that really troubles me is you had 3 kids in your car and you're drunk driving. You know what I'm saying? Is everything in this report accurate?
Your Honor, one small correction. It looks like that sentencing date says January 2026. It should be April 16th, 2026. I did discuss that with Ms. Young as to why she had failed to appear. She had a domestic violence situation, and then she did come.
She wasn't here at the court to school program. She didn't bother showing up for that, which didn't excite me, but
That was when she was relocating, Your Honor. Like I said, she was in a domestic violence.
I got it. So I'm not sure. What are you talking about where it says the sentencing?
At the top, it says, I think it says January 16th, 2026. It's the sentencing date.
She was supposed to do January 27, 26 at the court to school program. So
Well, it says January 6th, 2026 on the pre-sentencing. For the sentencing date.
wait a minute. Well, let me back up here. I don't know where you're talking about. Oh, sentencing date January 6th. I don't know why they had that. I think it was a typo. They should have had January 27, 26. They should have. But I made a mistake already because the plea wasn't too impaired. It was operating while intoxicated. It's just to make the record clear. She pled to 1 count and the OWI occupant was dismissed, 2 counts of that. And actually 3 counts of that, and they reduced it to OWI, period. OWI occupant less than 16, ma'am, is a 1-year misdemeanor under state law. You can't do that, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else?
So, Your Honor, she did indicate to me that everything is finally coming together. She got out of that domestic violence situation. She said she finally has help with her children. She's still employed. But because she has 3 children, Your Honor, she doesn't earn a lot. So I would ask if the court can waive any discretionary fines and costs. She's also been attending AA. She has it on the phone.
Okay, so now,
Last day she wants April 3rd.
why didn't you listen to me? I told you to go in person, didn't I?
It was just a picture.
It has a picture of
Written down.
that she gets signed.
Yeah. I do go in person.
Where'd you go?
I go sometime to Taylor with my sister at the little church. not sure exactly what, because it's like a ducked off. And then sometimes in Westland in the church as well. St. Paul Lutheran Church in Westland is the one I go for that one.
Anything else you would like to tell me, ma'am?
I'm just trying to get on the right path, that's all. Everything I got from home, relocating my children. Just trying to keep going and doing the right thing, getting the wrong people out of my life.
Well, that's a good thing. Can't have bad people that we're close to, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep repeating myself. But I am concerned about you driving around with kids in the car. 12 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law or ordinance. If you change your address, place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation immediately. You do have to report as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume any one of those. You're to submit to chemical testing, PBTs and ETGs. I'll make it bi-weekly for 3 months. If you're clean, I'll then make it monthly. Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. I'm in order that you attend AANA. Continue doing that twice a week until you get into, and I'll go along with that, the level 2 alcohol education program. I don't know if this is, according to the report, I mean, I have no reason to dispute that she does not have a serious alcohol problem. But it's decision-making, I guess, that bothers me the most when you got kids in the car and you're driving around like this. I do want you to obtain and maintain employment, provide proof of employment. Again, I'll go along with the level 2 alcohol education program with the victim impact panel. You're to clear all warrants within 15 days, but you need to get employment, okay?
She is employed, Your Honor.
I know she is. She's employed full-time, but I'm trying to tell her she needs to get a better job. I don't mean to disparage this fast food restaurant. I don't know how you're going to support kids when you're making $300 a week. So I'm just telling you, if I were you, you have to maintain employment, okay? You have to maintain employment. I'm encouraging you to get better employment. 4 days jail credit, 1 serves 3. I'm going to have you do all 3 on the court work program. There's a $35 a day charge for that for a total of $105. So 3 days court work program, 300 fines, 225 costs, 75 victim's rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So your fines and costs alone are $650, screening fees $60 for 710, probation fees are $240 for 950. You have cost of recovery of $150 for 1100 plus your court work program fees. Totals $1205. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. You could be incarcerated for 93 days. You'll have 21 days to appeal, and you have 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. Do you understand that? You may be eligible for early discharge. How much can you afford to pay? Can you pay $50 or $40 biweekly?
Yeah.
That isn't going to be enough. I'll tell you what, we'll start with $40 biweekly. I'll start that beginning May the 4th, but all money due by March 15 to 26. But I'm not going to discharge if you don't have all your fines paid, okay? You understand that?
Yeah.
Again, you have 21 days to appeal and 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. And again, your probation could be revoked if you violate. I wish you well. Do you have any questions?
Nothing.
You'll meet with probation. Thanks, Ms. Patillo.
Thank you.
Walter Mulhern, 2-4-W8.
What makes this courtroom session so fascinating is that nearly every defendant walked in asking for mercy, but the judge kept focusing on one thing: responsibility. Whether it was the man who relapsed right before completing probation, the defendant carrying a machete during a confrontation, or the mother caught drunk driving with children in the car, the court repeatedly emphasized accountability over excuses. And legally, that matters. Probation is essentially the court giving someone an alternative to jail, but the moment conditions are violated, Judges gain broad authority to impose stricter penalties, treatment programs, fines, or even incarceration. What also stands out here is how the judge balanced punishment with rehabilitation. Instead of immediately throwing everyone in jail, the court explored treatment, AA meetings, outpatient programs, payment plans, and community service. That's a huge reminder that many modern courts are trying to reduce repeat offenses, but only if defendants show genuine effort and honesty. Now we want to hear from you. Which case shocked you the most? Did the judge go too easy on these defendants? Or was this the right balance between consequences and second chances? And if you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.